Hello and welcome to Chocolate and Cheese.
Hello.
My name is Dom and this is the lovely
Roo.
Lulu. Exactly. We are back with some more life hacks for you. Are you excited, Lou?
Yeah. Tell me.
You want me to start straight away because
Straight away,
you cannot
please.
wait for me to tell you about life hacks. And we're not just doing any kind of life hacks, we're doing kitchen life hacks.
Yeah.
Lou, you actually live in the kitchen, don't you? You spend a lot of time in the kitchen.
Most of the time.
Yeah, you really love it. I mean, it's
Except from sleeping, I'm in the kitchen.
That's right. Yeah, that's what you should. You should be between the bedroom and the kitchen, just like a normal housewife. Oh God, that's so much. That's so. I sound like a misogynist.
But I really
do
like
apologize.
staying
I'm
in
not.
the kitchen.
Yeah, you really love that place. Very comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have a few kitchen hacks for you, which, as I said yesterday, hacks are all about making life easier. Okay, so these tips and tricks that I have for you today will make your kitchen experience so much more fun and so much easier. Okay,
So I can make more food.
you can even make more food. You can enjoy yourself even more. Okay. Now, the first hack I've got for you, I've prepared not 10, I've not prepared 20, I've prepared 16.
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16. Hey, that's a really good one. We're going to call this Sweet 16 life hacks. I love it. Kitchen hacks.
Hey.
Right. The first one, I've been bothering you about this for quite a while actually. Easter is very near. So the first one is all about eggs. Okay. Now, if you have some guests over, why don't you surprise them with some golden hard-boiled eggs? Golden hard-boiled eggs? What the hell is this?
Golden hard.
Well, you can make golden hard-boiled eggs if you, before you actually cook the egg, you shake it vigorously.
How much?
Really, really hard. I mean, as hard as you can without actually breaking the egg, okay? Now, what will happen actually, you will basically mix the egg yolk and the egg white. That will make the entire egg yellow. I have never done this. We have to do this tonight. I love the idea. So this will make your golden hard egg. You're going to surprise your guests because they will not know what this is. Like, what the hell is this? I've never seen an egg like that. Try it out. It's going to be very fun, especially over Easter. Don't you think that's a great idea? Yeah, you're fascinated by this. I can see from your expression on the face. Anyway, our next hack is about ice cream. Lou, you love ice cream.
Yeah.
You have ice cream
Every day.
Yeah, actually every day. You really have ice cream every day. What you can do, especially when you have if you like your ice cream to be really soft, okay? Because some ice cream actually, if you put it in the freezer, becomes super hard, and you have to wait for a really long time for it to become kind of like to get to that consistency that you find is really nice.
Although I'm not gonna wait, I just eat.
Yeah, you just go, you tug into it right away. If you want to keep your ice cream really nice and soft, you have to put it in a Ziploc bag, okay? And that will make it, it will be ready for scooping straight away. As soon as it comes out of the freezer, which I find really, really interesting. Because you see, when you have guests over and you put that thing out, and normally what you do, all you can do is actually just bend the spoon. That's all that happens, yeah. But apparently,
Like Yuri Geller.
yeah, like Yuri Geller, yeah. But if you put that in a Ziploc bag, it's just totally ready for scooping. Which I don't understand why actually, but apparently that's the way it is. We should try that, maybe tonight actually, whether that's really true. Okay, now our third kitchen hack is for when you go out barbecuing again, and for especially when you're trying to barbecue fish, okay? You see, the problem with fish when you barbecue, it can smell really, really funny. And the other big, probably even the worst problem is that it can fall apart, and then all these bits start falling through the grill, into the fire, and it's ruined. Now,
Bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces, absolutely. Now, what you can do is to kind of, sort out both these things. If you put your fish on a bed of lemon slices, okay? So you take a couple of lemons, slice them up, put them on top of the grill, and then put the fish on top of that, okay? Not only will it give a very nice flavor to it as well, but it will actually make the fish firmer, so it doesn't actually fall apart, and you won't have that ghastly smell of that fish, which really off-putting to some people. So you really sorting out a couple of things at the same time with the lemons. I think that's quite a nice hack there. The next one is for all those people who just love their bacon, cooked bacon. Yeah. Now, just in case, you used to love bacon, I remember. Now, if you are in an unfortunate situation where your oven doesn't actually work, you can still have your bacon. Okay, I like this. Like, hey, my oven doesn't work, but I still really, really need to have bacon today. Now, what you can do is you can wrap them in foil and iron them.
Iron
Yeah,
them?
you use an iron to actually iron your bacon rashers. Obviously, put them in foil, but the thing is so hot that you can actually cook it by ironing them.
And very straight, I think.
It's going to be very straight. It's super, no creases, just grease, but no crease. Okay, that wasn't funny. Okay,
We're going to remove that bit.
a bit of fun, but you can actually use the heat from the iron. Yeah. The next kitchen hack. This is when you are trying to cut onions. And I mean, this always happens if you are, well, unless you do it very, 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 very quickly, like you do. I always get, watery eyes. Yeah, I always start to cry. And there are a couple of household tips, a couple of these hacks, which you can use to make sure that doesn't happen. So one of them is actually by putting the onion into the fridge just before you do that. Okay? That apparently sorts that out. What you can also do, what some people say, by just making sure that you don't have to cry so much, is if you rub lemon juice on the knife that you're using for cutting. Okay, so you have the option of putting it in the fridge for a little while. The other one is putting some lemon juice on the knife, and apparently a third one is if you breathe through your through your mouth. That won't irritate the eyes so much. Apparently,
so with nose.
So you can actually just breathe through your mouth, but it's just gonna be so weird. I think I'll probably just try I think I'm gonna use two methods.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in the fridge and then use the lemon juice. I'm gonna try that actually. Next one, I think you're going to find very, very useful. And I'm sure you're going to probably start using that straight away. How do you normally cut ginger, Lou?
With a knife?
Yeah, exactly. Apparently, this isn't so good actually, because when you use a knife...
what do you mean not
I know. Well, what some people are saying is, because ginger is actually quite an expensive spice, although I don't really think, maybe in some countries, but when you use a knife, you actually get rid of so much of the actual root, So it's not just the outside, but not just the rind, but you actually cut away quite a lot of the good stuff. In order to avoid that, people are saying that you should use a spoon.
You mean peel?
Yeah, to peel.
I use a spoon.
You're using a spoon. Okay, well that's a great life hack. Yeah, brilliant. So she's already using it. Fantastic.
Or behind of the knife.
Yeah. No, sorry, I should have said that. It's not for actually slicing it up. I meant to actually peel it.
Okay, yeah.
So don't use a knife, but actually use a spoon. So you're already doing that. That's
I already
fantastic.
knew that.
So it's absolutely. It has been tested by our Lou. If you are now peeling ginger, use a spoon or the back of a knife. You just said. Okay. Yeah. Brilliant. The next one, very interesting. I think also thinking about Easter just being around the corner. If you have some eggs in your fridge and you're not quite sure, oh my God, how long has this been in there? Is this egg still fine, or am I going to get horrible salmonella poisoning? I've heard this before, and I've actually used it myself. Put the egg in a glass of water.
That's all I know.
If it sinks, it's fine. If it stays on top, you have to get rid of that egg, because there is so much gas in that egg, which is not a good sign. There shouldn't be a lot of gas.
So the egg is farting.
That egg, is creating some farts, and it's kind of like trapped in there.
Okay.
It's not going to be a good egg. To be on the safe side, you should get rid of that egg. So that's a really useful tip. Put it in a glass of water.
Okay.
Also related to eggs, this happens all the time, when you are trying to make some scrambled eggs, or you're trying to make a fried egg or pancakes, whatever. Whenever you use eggs and you crack them, you have bits of this shell falling into the bowl or into the glass, wherever you want to keep it. And this drives you it drives me nuts to trying to fish that out. I try my fingers, I try a spoon.
No.
It all doesn't work. And Lou is already smiling again. She probably knows how to, how to solve this problem. What do you use?
Eggshell.
You use another part of the egg. Exactly. How do you know this? This is incredible. I'm so impressed. So again, has been tried and tested by our Lou. And use a bigger part of the shell. It will magically attract that other piece. I want to know a scientific explanation that demonstrates why this would work. I mean, I find that really curious. Why that would attract that. Maybe something to do about the properties of the shell. That attracts it in a weird way. But yeah, use a bigger part of the shell to fish it out. Very, very interesting. Our next little hack, very useful, especially when you like to nuke your food. That's how Lou would say it. Well, it's using a microwave to warm up your dish. What happens if you have leftover from yesterday and you want to quickly heat it up? What happens very, very often is that you have an ice cold center and a freaking hot outside of the plate. Like the outside of the dish are very hot, but the inside is cold. What you should do is if you prepare some pasta and you want to microwave it, make it a bagel shape. So have a center where there's nothing, okay, and then just an outside ring. That will get rid of that problem. It will evenly heat the dish throughout. Okay, well, that has something to do with the way that microwaves actually work. They always start from the center. And go outside, although that doesn't quite make sense. Anyway, I'm sure there's somebody who will have an explanation for why that actually works.
But I don't like microwaves.
I know you don't like microwaves, yeah. Now, another really useful trick to cut very soft kinds of food, okay? And that could be, for example, cheese. Some cheese is like ridiculously soft. But you can also make it, you can also use this when you have pastries. When you make your own pastries and you try to cut it. What happens a lot when you use a knife, that you squeeze the whole thing down.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and it becomes a mess. And what you can do, and you can actually show your friends, you can really impress them. Lou is laughing at me again. She knows again. How on earth? So what are we gonna do?
Wet the knife.
Oh, okay.
With water.
Okay, no, it's not. It's different actually. Okay, so one possibility is to wet the knife with a bit of water. What I've heard actually that they're using dental floss. That's brilliant. It's almost like the way people used to cut cheese. They use the wire. Just the wire.
Or cut the soap with wire.
You can also cut the soap with wire, absolutely. But what they're using for food is just a bit of dental floss, and many people have dental floss at home. So you can use it. Obviously, use the non-waxed and non-scented. You don't want your cheese to be minty, a minty bit of cheese. Although, hey, mint and cheese, it might be a new food creation. It might be a part of a new episode of crazy but tasty food combinations. Hey, maybe it's going to be cheese and dental floss. Yummy! No, it's not going to be that one, definitely. Okay. The next one we have, super easy trick, just in case you don't know. If you have clear honey and it has crystallized, in the actual tub or bottle, wherever you have it in, and you want it to be super, super liquid again, what you do is you warm it up. Exactly. You can put it in the microwave, but only for very, very, very shortly. You should actually maybe just put it in a bowl of hot water.
Yeah, exactly.
Give it a little bit of a hot water bath. Obviously, don't dunk it. Okay, make sure it's closed, and then put it in. Don't use the microwave method. That can end up really nasty. Just put it in the water bath, and that will actually make it again super clear. So it will remove all the crystals. Okay. Next one. This is for our cookie lover, our biscuit lovers, and Lou is a huge cookie lover. I'm a huge cookie lover. If you have some very tangy cookies, the ones that are really soft and chewy. Okay. You can, and you make them yourself, and you've made too many, and you've made too many for yourself. You happen not to invite your friends and family, so you just have too many for yourself, and you want to keep them as fresh as long as possible.
Okay, yeah.
One way of doing that, so in order for them not to completely dry out, you need to put them in a jar and put an apple in them. I've actually heard that before.
Apple?
Yeah,
whole apple?
I think you can just use... actually a wedge of an apple, okay? So it has to be already cut, okay? Now, basically, the apple will give some of its moisture to the apples, so they will actually soak this up. This will prevent them from drying out, okay? And also gives them a very nice scent and flavor, so a bit of apple smell and apple flavor in there as well. Likewise, if you have very crumbly cookies and you don't actually want them to become soggy, because that's the worst, for example, there's some English biscuits called digestives, and they have to be crumbly. If they become soggy, they taste disgusting. So instead of using an apple, you would use rice. And that's very, very popular. And I know that you know
Salt
this, Lou,
as
actually.
well.
Yeah,
Put
but
some
how do
rice.
you keep the salt in there without making the biscuit salty? The rice wouldn't affect the taste at all, but the salt, how would you do that with the salt?
Put in a salt shaker.
Okay, maybe a tiny bit of a salt shaker. Yeah, okay. I would still probably prefer the rice, actually. You know, that will definitely soak up all that wetness inside. You know, and make sure that you
Well,
are.
I mean, salt not gonna become.
Oh right,
Right.
yes, yeah. You can also use salt in your
Not
sorry.
salt
yeah,
is
you can use rice in your salt shaker. Yeah, it's the same
Exactly.
principle.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
misunderstanding.
Yeah. The next one, this is for people who hate peeling potatoes and.
It's very hot.
ac-
Always hot.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, what you can, or just maybe too lazy to do that. Okay, what you can do, you can actually just use a peeler. That's actually that's much easier than a knife, I find. Maybe that's just for the boys, for the gentlemen, you know, to use a peeler. But what you can also do is you boil them and then put them in an ice bath. I mean, really ice cold water, maybe with some
They're gonna
ice
take-
cubes.
Take off the clothes
Exactly.
themselves.
Yeah, and then you can just pick it off. Actually, it will really just virtually come off. You know, they strip just right in front of you. It's very easy, and obviously they're cooled down. You know, if you use that kind of ice cold water, I think that's pretty cool.
Oh.
The next tip, this is for which I find very, very curious. This is about peeling garlic. I always find that really nasty because I'm using my fingernails to really get in there and then just to take take away the peel.
It's so tight.
It's I mean I love the smell of garlic. Don't get me wrong, but it's just you have it under your fingernails and that's a bit nasty. Now what you can do. If you take some garlic and you have to basically use 2 bowls of the same size and you have to close the garlic inside and then shake that like mad. Really, really go for it, really crazy. And apparently this will peel the garlic within a few seconds. I'm a little bit doubtful. I don't quite understand why that would happen, but apparently it does, so maybe we should try this out.
I will try
I would
that.
like to know whether our listeners, have done this before, shake some garlic in 2 bowls.
Okay, I will try tomorrow.
We should try, absolutely. Almost coming towards the end, we have 2 more super tricks.
Okay.
This one here is about bananas.
Banana,
Okay?
banana.
If you want to keep your bananas as fresh, and as long as possible, keep them, fresh as long as possible, you should actually separate them. If you keep them together, they will age, mature very quickly together. So if you separate them, which I find is a bit sad, because I always think that they belong together.
Oh, brothers and
they're
sisters.
brothers and sisters. But if you separate them and then put them in a plastic wrap, apparently
Individually?
individually, they last for quite a long time. I think that's quite useful when you buy like if there's a super offer on like loads of bananas, and maybe you live on your own, or maybe you just live with your whoever, and you have loads and you want to keep them as long as possible. So that would be a really good option. And then at the same time, if you can't wait to eat them, to make them mature even, or make them ripe. You don't say mature when it comes to bananas. You want them to ripe as quickly as possible. Then you wrap them in newspaper, which is interesting. Yeah. I've never done that. I find that a bit strange. Yeah, but apparently that makes them ripe, or as I said, mature. So ridiculous. Then you can do it like that.
Sounds like cheese.
Yeah. Our last kitchen hack, another fruit hack, and this is about cherries. Okay.
Oh, nice.
I like cherries, but you see the problem I have with cherries, you have the stones in there, and you have to spit that out.
What's the problem?
No, I hate that. I really don't like that. I want to just eat my food without having to, look for them in my mouth. So, and I want to pit them. Okay, and obviously they have cherry pitters, which you can use, to get rid of the stone. But there's a kick-ass way of doing it, with just 2 very simple things. All you need is a bottle, and a chopstick. You put the cherry on the bottle, on the, like a wine bottle or whatever, and then right on top, and then you pierce the cherry with a chopstick, and the stone will fall into your bottle, and then you've got a nicely pitted cherry, which I think is not only fun, but also going to be very useful.
But you need always a wine bottle next to you.
Well, you need some kind of bottle. Yeah, some kind of bottle which has that typical bottleneck. I think that is a lovely one. Actually, this is probably my favorite one because it's going to be fun. I actually want to do that.
I want to try.
You want to do that as well? I love it. Okay. These were our 16 super life hacks. Well, actually kitchen hacks, and we hope you enjoyed them. And
lots of things I already using.
I was quite surprised of how many hacks you were already aware of, And listeners, please, if you have some more hacks for us and you would like to share with us, please let us know. And otherwise, I'm going to pit some cherries now.
Yeah.